Welcome back, guys. So the second part of this is now frosting it. Now this is what we like to call a crumb coat or your first coat. This hides all your imperfections and also seals in any crumbs on the cake. Now that we've got our torted cake that has been iced and layered, it's time to start putting that coat on and get that super sharp edge that looks nice and clean. So I've got my piping bag here full of icing. Now you can use any kind of icing you like, whichever one you prefer to use. I use a mixture of your American buttercream and Swiss meringue buttercream. I've got my spatula as well as my cake scraper, and I've got my excess tub of icing here to use afterwards as well. Now this is a double-step process, so I'll go through that with you in 2 steps. So if you don't have a piping bag, you can just use your spatula. It does take a little bit longer, but you'll still get the same effect. And I'll show you with both methods. So first of all, we'll use the spatula method. Just get a little bit of icing on your spatula and just sort of layer it on like this. Some people prefer to just use this because it is a little bit more control. Otherwise, you can use your piping bag or you can do a mixture of both. I'll use the piping bag now to show you what that is like. So starting off at the bottom, holding the piping bag in one spot and then just moving your cake with your turntable all the way around and then moving your piping bag up slightly each time you reach the start of where you finished last. Kind of a bit like a spiral going all the way up. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be even either. So just make sure that you've kind of got it all the way around. You can go across the top too if you like. And we'll put that to one side. This is where you'll use your spatula. So very similar to the first method, you'll just smooth this around. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be even. All you want to do is just fill in all of those gaps and just make sure that the whole cake is coated. Make sure you get the top as well and any of the edges so that you don't have any more cake exposed. Now this is where you'll use your cake scraper. Again, you can use acrylic, plastic or metal, or if you're at home and you don't have any of those things available, a new or clean and disinfected ruler or back of a knife will do just fine as well. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you hit the bottom edge of your cake scraper to the bottom of your cake base, and that will keep you steady. And just insert it in slightly just so it's into the icing, and then hold the cake scraper steady while putting pressure downwards onto the cake board and just move that all the way around. Now once you can see on here on this clear one, you can see a little bit of buildup of icing. Once you get to that point, you can just stop and just scrape that back into the bowl or into a separate bowl and then start again. It doesn't have to be perfect at this stage. All you want to do is just scrape off any excess and get a little bit of evenness over your cake, and you can go as slow or as fast as you like. Again, get all of that excess and scrape it back into your bowl and just keep going. Now at this point you can start to see the cake, which is fine. Because in the second step process, we will actually cover it so that you can't see any cake. If you want to go for a semi-naked style, then you would go all the way till you can see some of the cake poking through. But again, we'll do another coat of icing so you don't have to worry about it being perfect at this stage. And for the top, what you want to do is hold it sort of vertically like that, so horizontally, and just pull from the edge inwards. It doesn't have to go all the way to the other side of the cake. Turn, from the edge inwards. Edge inwards, edge inwards, edge inwards, scraping as you go to make sure that you've gotten all of that excess off. And once you're happy with that, and if you want to go around the edge one more time, so you want to go around the edge one more time and just clean up any edges. And then once you're happy with that, we'll put that in the fridge for about half an hour to an hour, depending on how warm the icing is. Sometimes you can get away with about 15 minutes, but you want to make sure that that's nice and set before you put your second layer on, and I'll show you how to do that next.